Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another day in this MongoDB session. I hope everyone is present. Please mark your attendance. We will start in a bit. Hi, Abhay. Please mark your attendance so that we can start. Okay, we'll make sure notes are provided to you today. Kativaran, sure. Hello, good evening. Please mark your attendance first, everyone. Mark your attendance. We'll wait a minute, then we'll start. Meanwhile, let me show you what we are going to learn today. Everyone, please mark your attendance. I'm waiting for everyone to mark your attendance. Thank you. Sure, Momin, you can. My notepad should be visible to you. If not, do let me know. So let's discuss what are we going to study today. The first point of business will be embedded documents versus reference documents. Docs is short for documents. The first point of business will be what is an embedded doc, what is a reference doc, what is the difference, and when to use either. Right? The first point of topic will be this: the pros and cons of both embedded versus referenced documents. We'll take a look at this. Then we will learn about relationship between data in MongoDB, relationships in Mongo. What you will learn in this relationship? One-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-many. Three types of relationship we are going to learn. One-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-many. After that, we'll try and take a look at what are indexes in MongoDB or what is indexing in MongoDB. We'll try and take a look at some of the indexing techniques, single field index and compound index. Although there are more indexing techniques, we'll take a look at the most used one, single field and compound. So this is what our point of business today will be. If anyone has any comment, let me know. Today, schema design. Yes, in schema design is embedded document and reference document. Yes, we are going to design a schema with the help of embedded and reference documents only. Abhay. Since we are only learning MongoDB and not any ODB like Mongoose or anything, we cannot use mongoose.schema or things like that. Schema in MongoDB is defined by 2 to 3 things. One, whether you have references or embedding in your document. Two, whether you have correct data types or not. I believe everyone has marked their attendance. Let us get started. Oh yes, and also, as many of you asked a few times, Momin, I'll come to that. I read your comment. Do not spam. Also, let's also discuss MongoDB Compass. Let's first take a look at MongoDB Compass, what it is, how we can use it. So my browser must be visible to you. If we do a quick Google search of MongoDB Compass, you will get at this link. You can directly press download now, or you can go through the top page, however you feel fit. If you scroll down a little, you will find either the zip or the MSI. Anyone would do. It's not a, oh, it's a shell. Oh, my, sorry, it's not what we are looking for. MongoDB Compass. Okay, why it is going MongoDB shell? Okay, MongoDB Compass. If you scroll down a little, you will find MongoDB Compass on the second, as the second heading. You can download the exe file. It's a very short file. You have to download it and simply go through the installation by pressing next, next, and next. There is no setting whatsoever. I'll leave the setting part for, I'll leave the installation part for you guys. Not visible? Okay, 1 second. Is my browser visible now? Great. Let us start again. If you do a quick Google search of MongoDB Compass, you can click here or you can click here. Anyone would do. Compass, the GUI, graphical user interface for MongoDB. You can click the button download now. It will take you here. The first tool is Shell, which we have already downloaded. You have to scroll past it. Then you will find MongoDB Compass. And you have to install, you have to download this exe. It's as simple as that. Right? Once you have the exe downloaded, let me show you how it looks. Once you have the exe downloaded, it will look something like this. All you need to do is simply press next, next, and next, and it will be installed. Nothing fancy to do, nothing heavy installing, heavy lifting to do. It's as simple as that. It must be visible. Right? The installation part I am leaving to you. Once you install MongoDB, this is where you will end up. Can you guys see my MongoDB Compass? Do let me know. There might be some lag due to some network issue. It's all right. Let me know if my MongoDB Compass is visible to you or not. Fantastic. Once you land here, you can click on this plus button. You can click on this green add new connection. Anyone would do. When you click on the plus or new connection, this is where you land up. This would be pre-written in your in your URI. If not, you need to write MongoDB :2 localhost :27017. This is the IP address of MongoDB on localhost. You can write a name if you want. Let me write local server. You can give it a different color, although both of them are optional. Nothing else to do. Just click on connect. And you are connected to your MongoDB. Why are we using Compass today? Many of you requested why are we asked why are not using Compass. Attendance link is the same. Balrakshna, please go into the description. It is the same as always. As you can see, three databases were already present: admin, config, local, and we created a bookstore, right? In the bookstore, we had already previously created the collection books. As you can see, all is visible here. Using Compass gives us the graphical environment that we are so used to. Let us today do it in Compass. The commands that I'm going to write today will work exactly the same from yesterday and day before, and all those commands, they will exactly work the same in Compass as well. No changes there. Sorry. If I go into my collection books, you can see we have two documents. One has some lesser data while the other has some more data. Let me give you a simple tour of it. If you want to do an insert, if you want to do a graphical insert, you can insert document from here. If you want to insert a large number of data and you already have that in a JSON file or a CSV file, you can do it from here. If I click on insert document here, it will give me a pop-up which would look something like this. Here you can do whatever you want. Here you can write the document however way you want and click on insert. Similarly, if you want to update something, you can press this button, right? You can write your query here. If you want to delete something, you can delete it from here. When you are deleting, you have to first mark which of these two you want to delete. Otherwise, both of them would be deleted. However, I'm not going to use either of these buttons to insert, update, or delete. As we have been doing from day one, we have been writing the commands in the command prompt. Although we are using Compass today, also we will be using the Compass's command prompt only. Compass's dialog box, the terminal only. You will get the text file, Hamza, after this class. Don't worry. As you can see on the top right, there is a button for Open MongoDB Shell, and that is exactly what we are going to do. As you can see on your screen, it is written Mongo SH or Mongo Shell. This Mongo Shell is exactly the same. Oops. What we have been using in the plain old command prompt. That Mongo Shell, what you see behind, and this Mongo Shell that I'm about to open, they both are exactly the same. The only difference is you can copy paste here and it is more colorful, right? So that is the only difference that we are going to have today. Other than that, everything is fine. Everything is still the same. Because you guys asked for it. There will be no difference in any of the commands. So whatever we use, it's fine. If you want, we can again switch back to the previous thing. That will make no difference whatsoever. Right? One second. My MongoDB Compass will again show up in your screens. Don't worry. Just give it a second. Yes, you can use both, Hemant, although it will create only confusion, nothing else. But yes, you can. Guys, let me know if for any reason my compass is invisible to you. We are using MongoDB Compass just so we can get a hang of it, how to use it. Nothing else. Fine, Pratiksha. That can be your personal choice. We have used Mongo Shell for 2 days. Now let us use this as well. Okay, the first point of business. Embedded documents. Well, we already created embedded documents the day before. Let me show you. If I run the command db.books.find, db.books.find. One more advantage of using Mongo Shell is the autocomplete feature, the hinting. As you can see, I have the autocomplete feature. So this is what we have, right? If you take a look at this document, this is a pretty simple document, nothing fancy in it. It has an ID or underscore ID, title, author. Yes, Hemant, we can. Why to start from a new database, Shubhodeep? Why? We will be using the same database bookstore that we have been using from day one. So this document is a simple one. It has only 4 fields: ID, title, author, and year. However, if we take a look at this one, it has ID and title. Now it has a key reviews that again has some documents. That is, it again has an array. Inside that array, we again have objects. Then it also has author, genre, and price. And after price, you have a tag that again contains a nested element. What is an embedded document? An embedded document is a document which has another document put inside it. So in this one document, you have an embedded document which looks like this one. An embedded document is nothing but a nested document. If you are from programming, you must understand what nesting is. Embedded document is just nothing but a nested document. Good evening, Ravi. If you have joined at this point, you have joined a little late. Shubhodevi did not give me the reason why you want to start from a new database. I'm sure if you can write this message so many times, you can write why to start from a new database. Embedded documents are documents nested inside other documents. As simple as that. If you remember from our last class, we used an operator by the name push. Now that push operator, I told you, it always puts the data in an array. Push is what we use when we want to embed or when we want to nest documents inside other documents. Of course, if we are updating, if we are creating a new document, then we can simply write embedded document as is. Let me show you. Let's add another book. We have 2 books. Let's add another one. Let's try and do that, right? CLS for clear screen. db.books.insert1. We have title. Let's say Harry Potter. We have author. Okay, J.K. Rowling. Price. Let's add a price. Let's say of $29.99. Let me add now reviews. Reviews will be an embedded document. That is, it will have an array. Inside that array, we will have some objects. Okay, let us see. Okay, rating and comment. Let's only add rating and comment, nothing else. Let's say rating 5, comment. Nice read, something like this. This will be a nested or embedded document. Let's hit enter, acknowledge true, and we have the inserted ID. If we do a db.find now, we had another nested document previously. We now have one more nested document. However, nesting is or embedding is not the only way we go about when we have large sets of data, when we have huge data sets. There is another way called referencing. Let me show you how referencing works. Let me add a book, but this time I will not be adding any reviews in it. So just a title, a sample book, and author. Nothing else. We will get the ID of it, right? This is the ID. I'm copying it. Now, referencing. Let me first give you the definition what a reference is. An embedded document is where you have data inside the same document, nested data inside the same document. However, reference, as the name suggests, if you are from programming, you must understand what a reference is. Reference is there in almost all languages. In embedding, the related data is stored in the same collection. However, in referenced data, the related data are stored not in a single collection, but in 2 separate collections. So we have a collection by the name books in which we are adding data, right? If I do a db.create collections. If I create a collection by the name reviews, so now we'll have two collections. Okay, true, right? Why it is not showing in here on the left hand side? Because it is still empty. Empty collections are not shown. Empty databases also are not shown here. So don't worry, everything is fine. What I will do now is I will add a review for this sample book, but not in the books collection, not in this document, but I will do it in the reviews collection, and I will refer this document to the book document with the help of the ID. Let me show you. db.reviews.insert1. We will add a rating. Let's just like we did last time. Let's say 5. We will add a comment. Again, a nice read. Same like previously. However, this time we will add a book ID. This book ID will contain the ID of the inserted document in the books collection. In the books collection. That is why I copied this. I will paste that. If I hit enter, so acknowledge true. So what we have now? We have, if I do a db dot what reviews, yeah, db.reviews.find, you can see, yes, it has an ID, it has a rating, it has a comment, and it is referencing to a document in the books collection. This is what a reference document is all about. Guys, do you get the difference between, please explain again, collection? Embedded data generate inside new under ID. Embedded data does not get a new ID, Drishti. No. When you store it as a reference, then only it gets a new ID. Collection is just like table, Pratiksha, in SQL. What was a table? A collection of documents is a collection, document storage. Just like a table was a collection of rows in SQL, a collection in Mongo is a collection of documents where multiple documents are grouped. That is what a collection is. When some related data. Yashwant, I'll answer a question. Vaishnavi, let's say we have about 5 lakh books in our database. For those 5 lakh books, we might have 50 lakh comments, right? Because every book has multiple comments. If you store the book data and the comments in a single embedded document, its size might grow large. MongoDB cannot store documents, by default, cannot store documents more than 16 MBs. However, embedded documents can grow larger than that in size. It becomes difficult for MongoDB to store that. That is why we separate the reviews, or we separate some portion into a different collection, but we provide a common factor to the related data that you are related to this particular data, and we do that with the help of object ID. That is what a reference is. What is the need of referencing, Yashwant? I just answered that question as well. Order does not matter, Hemant. Order does not matter. The need of referencing, one is size. Embedded documents can very quickly grow in size. Nesting or embedding after a 1 or 2 or 3 level deep can become confusing. So it is better to separate the documents, separate the data. So we need referencing there as well, right? ओके, सेकंड वाला नहीं दिख रहा हूँ. चलो कोई बात, बाद में दिख जाए. नो प्रॉब्लम. Not in this Mongo shell, Yashwant. You can do that if you are using Node or if you are using Mongoose. Yes, you can do that. Let me share the document as well, which you will get after this, so it will be easier for you. Give me a second. Let me share the document as well. Let me know if you can see the Word document on my screen. Asif, that is an unrelated question. If can't use the data, why referencing is necessary? I never said we cannot use the data. We can. Nesting and embedded data are similar or not? They are the same thing, Pratiksha. Same thing. My Word document must be visible now. It's all right, Neeraj. Don't worry. The differences or similarities or when to use which one, now you can take a look at here. Embedded document, when the related data is stored within the same document. The advantages of using embedded documents, yes, because all related data is stored simultaneously, stored together, you can fetch it quickly. Atomicity. If you are coming from SQL, you must have heard this term there as well, the ACID properties, the A in ACID properties. Updates to document are atomic, meaning if you change the embedded document or if you change the outer document, change happens in all of the document. If you make change to the document, the sub document also change. That is, the whole of the document, the whole of the object changes simultaneously, changes together. If you update any other book information, the reviews will update, and if you update reviews, the other information will also update and refresh. Atomicity. The main the main advantage of using embedded documents, you don't have to use joins. As I told you on the very first day, joins are expensive. What is a join? Join is a method to connect or to display data from two or more collections. If you are using embedded document, if all your data is in a single document, there is no need for join. However, there are some disadvantages as well. As I told you, the main disadvantage is of size. MongoDB can store documents of 16 MB. Maximum limit is 16 MB. Embedded document, however, they very quickly grow larger. 16 MB is Yashwant. Yes, Hemant, the answer to your question is this. Yes, Umang, you will get it. Another problem with embedded documents or nesting is duplication. Let's say you added tags in one book, in one document. However, you added the same tags, or maybe you added the same reviews by mistake, of course, in another book. You will have to go through, you will have to keep a watch, keep a note of each and every document. कि किस कहाँ हमने कितने reviews लिखे. That is, embedded documents are prone to duplication. There is a problem of duplication with embedded documents if we do not have a proper watch. When there is a duplication, there is redundancy. Redundancy simply means repetition. Embedded documents have their advantages and their disadvantages as well. What is a reference document? A reference document, in a reference document, the related data is not stored in the same collection, but is stored into different collections and then linked together, generally with the help of ID. This is the similar example that I showed you. Nahin, Yashwant, of course you can. There are methods where you can get past this 16 MBs. That is not the point today, however. But yes, just to answer your question, you can. So, reference document. As you can see, we have a books object in the books collection, or we have a book in simple terms. As you can see, there are no reviews here, but reviews are stored in a different collection called reviews. And both of the documents are linked with the help of book ID. As you can see, the book ID is same. And where it is coming from? It is coming from this book. That is, both the comments in that collection belong to this book by the title 1984. This is what a referenced document look like. This is exactly what we created just now. Advantages. The first is, of course, size. Because now we separated the reviews from the books collection, its size will automatically reduce, right? Common data like reviews is stored only once, so it helps us reduce redundancy. If when data is separated, when data is referenced, you get a more flexible layout. That is, you can update reviews without the need of updating other information, and vice versa. You can update author and all, and the reviews will not be touched. Among that, the answer to that question lies on case-to-case basis. However, in reference documents, we have to use joins, so that means slower read operations. Fetching mein time lagta hai. And because you need to use joins, as joins in SQL were complicated, similarly joins in MongoDB is also complicated. Not that much, but yes, complicated. How will we get to know which one to use when? Well, you need to understand some simple points. You need to understand that embedding is for you when the data will be frequently accessed together. In case of books and reviews, there might be a need of displaying books without the reviews, right? If you are on a page which displays the single book, then you need reviews. However, when you are displaying a collection of books, you might not need reviews. In such cases, you can use reference document. You can separate the book and the reviews. Where data is tightly coupled and will be accessed frequently, embedding is the way to go. When the related data will not grow significantly, when you have an option of, let's say, only 5 reviews per books, then you can use embedded documents. When you are in search of simplicity, use embedded documents. However, if this is not the case, if related data is large and can be seen independently, use referenced. If you want to avoid redundancy, if you want to avoid the document size limits, use redundancy. Use referencing, that is. So again, this is also a case-to-case basis thing. I just did, Yashwant. I created a reference document as well. I created a nested document as well. I did both. Since we have a limited amount of time and we have to go through a lot of theory sessions will also be there, or theory part will also be there. Relationships. Yes, Subramanyam, this PPT will be, this is a Word file, it will be shared. The PPT, it's already shared with you on day one. One-on-one relationship. One-on-one, as the name suggests. Where one document or where one piece of information is related to only one other piece of information. Let me show you. Let me know if my MongoDB Compass is visible to you. Yashwant, time is a very important factor in that. Since we are talking about books, one book only has one book cover, right? The cover image, one book can only have one book cover. That is a simple one-to-one relationship. So we have a book by the title Harry Potter, right? We just added that a few minutes ago. If you remember, we used the dollar set yesterday as well. Still not visible? Still not visible. Okay. Let me share again. Yes. My compass also visible. Yes, you can, Yashwant. However, it is not recommended. But you can store images and you can store small videos as well. It is not recommended, however, please note. Some of you are saying visible, some of you are not. Please refresh your internet connection if it is not visible, guys. What we are taking a look at now, we are taking a look at one-on-one relationship, yeah, one-to-one relationship. Oh, unexpected token, comma. Let me do a CLS. What did we do wrong? Image URL is this. We might remove this. We don't need this. This is this. This is this. This is this. Okay, fantastic. What did we just do? Let me show you. db.books.find. I now added a cover to this book, Harry Potter. Now, of course, one book can only have one cover. It cannot have more than one covers, right? This is a very, very, very simple example of one-to-one relationship. What do you want to store in encrypted format, Ashwant? Okay. One-to-one, when one data is only related to one other data, that is one-to-one relationship. However, one-to-many. Now, one author can write multiple books, isn't it? J.K. Rowling is the author for this book, Harry Potter, as well. Or let's say Harry Potter has multiple parts, as you might know. So, J.K. Rowling, the same author, can write book Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban. However, the same author, J.K. Rowling, can write another book, right? Deathly Hallows. That is a very simple example of one author, too many books, one too many. There are three types of relationships. One-to-one. Each document is related to only one document in another collection. One-to-many. When one single document can be related to multiple documents. Or yeah, one book can have multiple reviews, right? One book, as you can see, one document, one book can have multiple reviews. This is a one-to-many relationship. These two are very simple. One-to-one and one-to-many are very simple to learn and understand. Let's create another collection user. What I'm doing here is I'm explaining one-to-one with another example. Let's create a collection user. User is created. If I do a show collection, you can see we have three collections, right? If I were to add some information to user, now, oh, sorry. Oh, I inserted a blank one. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Let's add information about Vaishnavi. So obviously the name can be Vaishnavi. Age. Now, let's say Vaishnavi's age is 24. But that age can be of so many other people also, right? However, when we talk about email or when we talk about phone numbers, those are unique, right? Whatever email I write here, that will be unique to this particular person. Whatever phone number I write, that will be unique to this very person. This is another example of one-to-one relationship. However, this is in the same document. If you are getting confused, that might be because of we are not having two documents. But this is also example of one-to-one relationship. Vaishnavi, are you getting this? If I talk about one-to-many, now the user Vaishnavi can create a review, can have her review on many books. She can review Harry Potter. She can leave a review for 1984 as well. And she can leave a review for this Moby Dick as well. This is a very simple example of one-to-many. Many-to-many can be a little bit confusing. Many-to-many actually is a combination of both of these. One-to-one and one-to-many. Sorry, guys. Many to many. Now, one author, yes, can write multiple books, sure. But multiple books can be written by not a single but multiple authors as well. Now, this is a many to many relationship. One user, Vaishnavi can leave comments, can leave reviews for multiple books, yes. However, multiple users also can leave comments, can leave reviews for those multiple books. है ना? That is a many to many relationship. The relation between books and reviews or users and reviews is a many to many relationship. One user can be related to many reviews. Many reviews can also be related to many users. Many to many, when where at the both ends there can be not a single but multiple entities. That is a many to many relationship. That is a many to many relationship. Three kinds of relationship we studied: one to one, the simplest of them all; one to many, again a simple one. Both of them there was at least one end where there was only a single entity, either a single user or a single book. Many to many, where at both ends there can be multiple books, there can be multiple reviews, or there can be multiple users and multiple reviews. Many to many. I hope you are getting this. Let's also talk about indexing, creating index. Index in database, not only in MongoDB but in SQL as well. Indexing is done for the sole purpose of fetching data faster, of improving the speed and efficiency of your queries. This is the sole reason of creating an index. Index is similar to that of your first page of your books. Index. You don't need to go through the whole book to know, okay, where is the chapter on integration. You can just take a look at the index and you will get to know, okay, it's on the page 100. And you will just scroll to the page 100 instead of going through each and every page. Index in database works in the exact same way. There are so many types of indexes in MongoDB. We cannot study them all. So we will study the top two that we use on a daily basis. It's not that others are not uses, but these two are used in almost any kind of database. The others might have special use cases. These two, single field and compound field, they are used in any kind of, any level of database. It can be holding data of any type. In our books, in our bookstore, we can create indexes for searching. We can create indexing for sorting. Of course, right now we only have 2 to 3 books, so there is absolutely no sense of creating indexing. MongoDB in itself is so fast that it will search the books in an instant. When you have 2 to 3 millions of books, then going through each and every one of them can be a little problematic and will result in slower fetches. आपको वो result slow देगा. What we can do in that case is db.books. Create index. First, we are taking a look at single index. Single index means creating an index on a single field. What exactly is a field? Here a name, age, email, those were fields. In book, The title, the author, the cover, the ID, these are fields. When we are creating index on a single field, it is known as a single field index. What I'm doing is I'm creating an index on the title field. How you create index? You create it like this: title, field name. Of course, it has to meet the exact field name. अगर आपने वहां पे टाइटल दिया है तो यहाँ भी टाइटल ही होगा. What I can do in front of title is either -1 or 1. Let's first create this index. What has happened? I have told MongoDB whenever there is a search for title, whenever the user searches books by any title, search them in alphabetical order. 1 here means in ascending order. If I would have done this, that would mean when a user searches for any book, first go to the last book by alphabetical, that is a book by Z, and then search from there. Index is helping us where to start searching instead of looking at all the books. Creating index on such a small database will have absolutely no effect. So you just have to go with the flow. What I'm trying to tell you here, indexing will only help you when you have a huge number of data, which you don't have right now. Compound field index simply means when you want to help MongoDB get quicker results. Let's say if the user let me show you create index. Or actually, create index, okay? What if the user searches our bookstore by author's name? So I'm creating an index on author. Whenever there is a search for author, do it in ascending order or do it in descending order. 1 for ascending, -1 for descending. User can also search by title. So what I'll do is I'll do a title. User can also search by year. Let's do all of them. Title, title. Let's do year in -1. That is, search the recent years first. So now we have an index which is applied on 3 columns or 3 fields, that is author, title, and year. Aggregation, however, is for tomorrow's lesson. But what will happen when you provide a compound index? MongoDB will first search our bookstore for author in the ascending order. Whenever the said author or the searched author is found, what will MongoDB do? MongoDB will then sort the results by title in ascending order. And it will then apply the result of that sorting, and it will then sort those searched results by descending years. What is happening here is an aggregation pipeline, although it has to be discussed tomorrow. But yes, compound indexes feed the result of one operation to the next, and then of the next to the next one, and so on. If you try to do a find now, you will still get the book because we have so little data. This thing or this thing will have their effect. You will have quicker results when you have millions and millions of books. Without indexing, you might get results in a 1 to 3 seconds, 4 seconds. With indexing, you will find results only in 1 second or even less. There are other kinds of data. There are geospatial. There are other kind of indexes as well. Geospatial index. You have multi-key index. Those, however, have special use cases. Single key index. and multi-index or compound index. These are the ones that are used in any sort of database, irrespective of whatever data that database holds. What we are going to learn tomorrow is the aggregation pipeline that I told you just right now. We will see that in detail. What is a match? What is a filter? What is a lookup? Things like that. How result of one operation is fed to another, and so on. That is what we mean by a pipeline. We'll try and see that in the tomorrow's lecture. If you have any questions, now will be the time. Okay. Sir, what if year is not mentioned in any of the objects? It will be pushed to last. If year is not mentioned, the result of the previous one will be considered as the final output and it will be shown to the user. Sir, what data modeling means? To model the data or to structure the data is simply what data modeling means. If you are looking for definition, to structure the data in a semantic way, in a uniform way, that is what data modeling means. So what if acha, ye to ho gaya. How to improve performance using index? You have to create index on the fields which are most used by the user, and you create index on them, just like I showed you, whether a single index, whether a compound index. Rest MongoDB will take care of. That is how you improve performance by indexing SA. You will find this Word file, you will find the PPT all in the link provided in your description box below. So please told me, how do I build a database for attendance system for my project? You first need to have a collection of users, Mumin, in which you will have users, roll numbers, first name, last name, phone number, parent name, whatever. You then need to have a collection for attendance. It will reference users with their roll number or ID. In that attendance, you will have documents by each day, like 25/9, then 26/9, then 27/9. In front of all the students, you can have either absent or present. This is the very basic overview of your attendance management system. The type of indexes that are used very frequently are single key, compound, and there is another one, multi key. These are the ones that we use very frequently. Hemant, I answered this question. Na? Assignment will be given tomorrow, Subramanyam. Thanks a lot, guys. Tomorrow will be about aggregation. That will be all for today. Thank you for joining. I hope I'll see you again tomorrow and the day after as well. You will find the notes in the comment section. That will be all from my side. Thank you.